Hey everybody, so we're gonna get started in just a moment. Let me share this out, and while I share, I invite you to share as well. And then once we get everybody in the right place, then we're gonna go ahead and dive into today's Brand You Like a Boss class, I guess. So that's what we're gonna do today. So let me go ahead and share this. You share, we get everybody in the same place, and we'll get the ball rolling. Let's see if we can do this fast today. I think we may be able to. Share. All right. Share on my timeline. Share. Post. Hello. So we've got some people coming in. I just shared, so we should be good to go in a minute. So now let me share this on the Brand You Like a Boss page, and then we're gonna get into it. Let's do this. It's moving a lot faster than I thought it would, so that's a good sign. Let's see. Share on the page. Alright. We are all set. So let me move my laptop over so I got notes today, y'all. So welcome to this midday Brand You Like a Boss class, if you will. My name is Natasha Weston, and I am the author of Brand You Like a Boss. I am also a personal brand strategist. And so today I wanted to talk to you about how in the world can you start connecting with leaders, influencers, and just people who are just busy in general without seeming to be annoying, or how to do it authentically and in a genuine way. So that's what we're going to be talking about today in this Facebook Live. I am on no time restraints for the next couple of hours, so I can kind of take my time and go through the tips that I'm going to share with you. I have 5, but I'm sure as I start talking, I'll get into more, or I'm sure I'll be elaborating. So if you are here already, please let me know down in the comments if you can see me okay, if you can hear me, if I'm loud and I'm projecting and all of that good stuff. And if you can, then I'm going to go ahead and get into it. So if you're watching a replay, let me turn this down a little bit so you guys can see. So if you're watching a replay, thank you so much, guys. I invite you to share this out, share this out, share this out, share this information. And while we wait on everybody to pile in, I'm going to go ahead and get into it. So thank you guys for hanging out with me. Let me know in the comments that you're here. Somebody let me know if you can see me. Welcome, Zelda. Welcome, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Hi, Tony. Thank you, guys. Awesome. Thank you so much, Tomika. Thank you so much. Okay, so for those of you joining me for the first time, because I see some new faces, thank you guys for sharing. My name is Natasha Weston, and I am a personal brand strategist. I help entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs at heart to build personal brands that people know, love, and trust. I am also the author of the Brand You Like a Boss book. I'm sure you probably have heard about it or seen it on my page, but the book is going to be released June 21st. And so today I had a conference call which really took me by surprise and actually inspired this live broadcast today. So I'm going to give you guys the scoop on what happened and how I feel like it can be beneficial to you as you try to position your personal brand and yourselves in general in front of people who have already done this before, in front of people who have been in their industries for years, sometimes decades. Hey, Mom. So that's what I want to share with you today. So the call that I had at noon definitely inspired this broadcast, and I'm just flipping it now and giving you the tips and the tricks that I've used and the thought process that I had when I was able to connect with these types of people. Because here's the thing. as you build, hey love, as you build your personal brand, you cannot do it by yourself. You will have to spend years and years and years building a really solid and valuable network that will help your personal brand story to circulate, right? You know how blood circulates through our veins? You need people and you need network and you need influential people, and at some point that will help you to deliver your message and help to spread the word about how you show up in the world. And so that is why I think it's important that we do learn how to properly and effectively reach out to influencers, leaders, people who you may think are untouchable. It's possible to reach these people. You just have to keep some things in mind when you're doing it. And so share this video out before we get started. I have 5 tips, and I wrote notes because I want y'all to get this information. So 5 tips on how to connect your personal brand, so in other words, yourself, with leaders, influencers, and entrepreneurs who are just busy. And we all have some stage of busy. Some people may be busier than others, but the point is everyone's time is valuable, and it's important that you keep some things in mind and do some things before reaching out. So let me go ahead and share what happened with me today and why I decided to do this live broadcast. So I came into contact through social media with a lady who is elite in Hollywood. I mean, she's got almost 30 years of entertainment talent management under her belt. She's well respected in Hollywood, in the entertainment industry in general. And I remember when I started my blog like many years ago, like before I even knew what a personal brand was or before I had any idea of what I was doing, like when I was like really testing things out, trying to figure out what I was going to do. I think it was not too long after I decided that fashion styling was not going to be my thing. And I had just moved back to Greenville, South Carolina, and I started a blog, and I was just really trying to figure it out, y'all. Honestly, I did not know what the heck I was doing. Well, anyway, this lady, I think we found each other, I want to say on Instagram, and she never like verbally really said anything to me. She would comment on my posts here and there, and just, you know, say little things like good job, blah, blah, blah. But I never really had an interest to find out who she was or to really like read into her because I didn't see where we could connect. I didn't see the initial connection. So long story short, over the years, this lady has literally watched me grow. She's watched me fall flat on my face just from social media. She's watched me birth my first book. She's watched me have to move out of a house. She's watched me be flat out broke. She's literally watched my journey for almost 7 years. Literally, almost 7 years. And when I started writing this book, Brand You Like a Boss, she reached out to me and she commented on she Instagram direct messaged me. And she just made a comment like, you know, you're doing a really good job, blah, blah, blah. And I still wasn't really like, you know, okay, I was just appreciative of the comment and the fact that she had noticed what I was doing. But what really got me was when she said, you know, remember, I followed your journey and I just admire what you've done. And I've noticed like how consistent you've been despite what has happened. And she said, you know, you're like really one of the only female millennials that I follow consistently because I've been in the entertainment industry for decades and I've seen people start stuff, not finish, or I've seen people start stuff and give up, and people just come and go a lot. And so she said, to have watched you for 7 some odd years consistently build and consistently just never give up and just try things and still help people and let people in your world and see what you're doing, that is amazing to me. And she said, it's not too many people that I follow that are younger than me, because this woman is she's in her late 40s, maybe early 50s, so she's way older than I am. So anyway, this was all going on through Instagram direct message, like maybe 2 months ago when I first started promoting this book. So I asked her within that conversation, I said, hey, what do you think about maybe writing what you just told me, like as a testimonial, so that I can have like a reputable endorsement. So she was all for it. She was like, absolutely, like, let me know what you want me to write or blah, blah, blah. So that was like 2 months ago. So as we get closer to June 21st, which is the day of the book release, I'm doing a lot of follow-ups with people who I've reached out to endorse the book or to do an advanced review on the book. And so I've been doing a lot of following up. So I reached back out to her through Instagram direct message, and I was like, hey, are you still interested in doing this endorsement? So she was like, yeah, absolutely. Can we hop on the phone on Tuesday? So I was like, okay, cool. And now, being somebody that I talk to people all day, every day, when someone asks you to talk to you on the phone, like get off of social media, like out the DM, that means something to me, because a lot of our interactions are so based on social media. It has caused us to not really connect with people in the way that we should. So anyway, we got on the phone today, and I'm just expecting what do you want me to write? I'll write it for you, blah, blah, blah type of call. But when I tell y'all, this woman poured into me and told me some things that confirmed a lot of things, but also showed me that there's a way to connect with people who are really unreachable, and people who are busy, and people who can endorse you and push you to a new level, but there's a way of doing it. And I know in the past, I've reached out to a lot of influencers, I've reached out to celebrities, and while in a lot of cases I had a connection there with somebody else, it's possible for you to make those connections on your own, but you have to know how to approach people. You have to know how to do it, because we need those endorsements, and it's possible to get those endorsements. And as I continue to grow my personal brand, obviously y'all know I'm like crazy busy. Like most of the time, I don't know which way I'm going or which way I'm coming. So I'm finding out that the more I grow, the more in demand my time is becoming, and the more limited my time is. So now that I'm in this place, I now realize the importance of knowing how to connect with people who are just busy. And I was telling my mom earlier, like, I've had some instances in the last few months where people have reached out to me, and maybe I couldn't hop on the phone with them, or maybe my intent was to, but my time just wouldn't allow me. Because when I tell y'all I am a full-time mom, I'm a full-time mom, I am in college, I'm taking 2 very demanding college courses, I'm running my business full-time, and I have one-on-one clients on top of the individual jobs that I do. And this is not to complain, but I'm just trying to give you an example of, it's 24 hours in a day, and when I tell you all 24 of mine are completely booked, I am literally now using 3 calendars, an electronic one through my email system, a big thick one, and this little pocket one over here. So if I'm just little old me, can you imagine what an influencer, somebody that's running a $1 million business and has multiple clients, can y'all imagine how busy they are? So it's important for you to know how to wiggle your way onto their calendar, and how to make sure that you are getting on their radar in an authentic way. So I say all of that to say, almost 8 years now since this lady has found me on social media. She's followed my journey. She's watched my consistency. So really, without knowing, I put in the work to make this connection, to now get the rewards of this connection, right? So that's what I want to teach you guys about in today's video. So I wrote out some notes, like just straight off the head, with exactly what I've been able to do and how I'm able to continue to grow my network. And thank you guys so much for continuing to share this, and how I've been able to really find myself in places that most people aren't able to touch. And I want you guys to be able to expand your growth and your reach through connecting with influential people, because it's possible. So let's go ahead and get into the first tip. The first tip is to do your homework first. The first tip is to do your homework first. Why? Because before you make a connection, you have to get on somebody's radar first. That person needs to know that you exist. And in a crowded world and crowded social media, that's hard to do. So what are you going to do to stand out? Why should this person connect with you? Why should this person put their reputation on the line to endorse you or to take time out of their busy schedule to speak with you or to share knowledge with you or to want to do any of those things? You have to get on their radar first. What gets you on people's radar? Consistency, originality, and the ability to weather multiple storms. Let me say that again. And y'all, I'm looking this way because my notes are on my laptop. What gets you on people's radar is consistency, originality, and the ability to weather multiple storms. So y'all know what consistency is. That means you can't be like fly by the wind. One week you are hell-bent on being consistent. The next week life happens, a storm flies in, and you give up, you quit, and you're not back doing what you've been doing for 6 months. That's not going to work. That's not going to work. Personal branding is about evolving. It is okay to go through life. You have to showcase that and show people the process. That is how you remain consistent. Originality. Don't be a copycat. Don't do things just because somebody else is doing it. There are a lot of things that I see people that I admire doing. Does that mean I'm supposed to do it? No. Especially not right now. You've got to know what your goals are, and you've got to be original. Have original ideas. Do things authentically, from the heart, out of the kindness of your heart. Be authentic. Be genuine with people. That is how you showcase your originality. And the ability to weather, hey Kim, and the ability to weather multiple storms kind of goes hand in hand with what I said about consistency. Are you firm? Are you able to show people that you can transition in life, in business? Are you able to fall flat on your face and keep the ball rolling? Are you able to do those things? People are watching you even when you don't think they're watching you. Even when you think the smallest things you're doing are insignificant, there is somebody out there influential just watching you to see if you are going to weather that storm. That is how you get on an influencer, a leader, or an entrepreneur who's just busy's radar. Okay? So keep those 3 things in mind. So if you're trying to collaborate with somebody, for example, if you're trying to collaborate with, let's just use like if you're an aspiring fashion blogger or you want to start doing YouTube videos on outfits of the day, and your big picture is that you want brands to start sponsoring your outfits. So you pretty much want brands to start sending you clothes and you want to have them to endorse your personal brand. Let's use that for an example. Well, I can almost guarantee you that if you've done no legwork, meaning you've not consistently blogged for at least a year or 2, and you haven't posted an outfit of the day on social media for a month, and you send an email to a brand or somebody influential and say, hey, I'd love to partner with you. I'm doing this photo shoot, and I'd love for you to sponsor me, and let's collab, and blah, blah, blah. Well, that sounds great. But what work have you done to get on that brand's radar? Have you purchased an outfit with your own money first and tagged them on Instagram numerous times? Have you shown them that you're genuinely interested in their brand? Have you shown the interest? Have you done the legwork? So another example, if you, I'm going to use like, let's see, somebody I'm really influenced by. I'll use Lauren because she's like my mentor, right? Lauren is the co-founder, well, the founder of Motives Cosmetics. So let's say I'm having a beauty brunch and I know Lauren is in my network. I know her, and I would like for Motives to sponsor some products for the gift bags, right? Well, if I want Lauren to invest in me, have I ever bought anything from Lauren's brand? Have I ever shared her post? Have I engaged with her? Have I shown genuine interest in her brand first? If the answer is no, you have no right reaching out to her or anybody that you want to connect with. Do your legwork first. Make sure that you have done your part first before you reach out to people, right? So have you engaged with them? Do you share them with others? Have you bought their courses, their books, attended any of their events? Ask yourself those questions, because people, and this is straight out of the book, actually, the Brand You Like a Boss book, people care about the people who care about them. People care about the people who care about them. I'm just going to be honest. I notice the people who notice me. I notice the people who have supported me, that have commented, that have shared me, that have shown interest in my brand. I see those people on my crowded Facebook timeline before I see somebody I've never heard of, spoken to, or have never made an introduction with, right? So you've got to do your homework first. Bottom line. The second tip is to make sure you have something valuable to bring to the table, and not just something valuable, but something that they can benefit from. So you don't want to be out here handing out scraps and leftovers to people who have worked their butts off to get to where they are, or people who you know they have something to offer you. You want to have something valuable that can benefit their brands and their lives before you reach out. Okay? How do you do this? Well, you do your research on that person. You need to know as much about their brand, as much about their story as possible, right? Because we like when people come to us and say, oh girl, how did you make it through that? Oh girl, like, how's Tyler? I read about him on your blog, or I saw him in your video. You want people to know that you are invested in their lives and that you know what they have going on. It just makes for great conversation, to be honest. Right? Yes, the video, I'll keep it up when it's over. It'll be up forever, so y'all can watch this over. Because I know a lot of y'all are at work. So yes, you can watch the video over later. So do your research and know everything you possibly can about this person's life and about their brand. Okay? It's like if Oprah was to invite you to dinner tomorrow and you want to be a TV host, do you know enough about Oprah's life to have a conversation with her? So that brings me to my next point. Here's how you test. Here is how you test if you're ready to reach out to somebody. Pay attention. If you can sit down with the person who you want to reach out to, the person whose endorsement you want, if you can honestly sit down with that person, if the opportunity presented itself, and have an effective, genuine 10-minute conversation, you're ready to reach out to that person. If you don't know enough about that person, that brand, or that organization, or that influencer to have a 10-minute conversation, you don't need to reach out to them yet. Okay? Because sometimes I think we see somebody as successful or making moves or doing things, and we just want to latch ourselves onto them because of their success, not realizing we don't know enough about that person, that cause, that organization to deserve that connection. You've got to give to get, and learning about the influencers you want to reach out to is detrimental to your connection. Hey, Krista. Detrimental to your connection. So, again, if this person has a successful blog and maybe you want them to show you the ropes or take a coffee break or go to coffee with you or whatever the case may be, hear me carefully, y'all. You better had read every book they've written, watched every video they got on YouTube, listened to every podcast episode. You should have bought every course they've made on blogging before you say, hey, can you mentor me, or can you speak to me on the phone for 10 minutes? Please, again, do your work first before you reach out to people, right? And coming from a place where I create a lot of content, I give a lot of information, advice, tips for free all the time, just because I want to and I love doing that. When I create content, it is to limit the time that I have to spend giving individualized advice, right? So for example, When I started my first podcast, hey Faith, when I started my first podcast, I started it for less than $10. Literally. I spent a couple of weeks doing the research, figuring it out on my own. I didn't ask anybody. I didn't call up Myleik Teal and say, hey Myleik, I love your podcast. Can you tell me how to start my own? I didn't do that. And y'all know I love Myleik's podcast. Like, it's like next to my Bible on my nightstand. I listen to it all the time. So, as much as I love her successful podcast, I would never reach out to her and say, hey, can you show me the ropes? Why? For one, I know she's busy. For two, if I'm wondering how she does it, I know everybody else is wondering the same thing. So in order for me to had limited the time I was telling people how to start a podcast, I put it into a course so that you could go at 3 o'clock in the morning and buy it and get all the information you needed without even asking me or hitting me up in my DM. And I can't tell y'all how many people still do that. And that course is almost a year old. Yeah, the course is almost a year old. So when influencers and leaders create products for you, it's so that you can get your solution most of the time within a click of a button. And so that their time is more focused on the things they need to do to continue to grow their business or whatever they have going on. And so take those things into consideration. The third tip is to respect their time, because again, it is limited. Please respect their time because it is limited. You can't just DM them and expect them to just give you a whole coaching session through a direct message. You can't just call them up and ask for advice or just start talking. I know with my life, I literally have to write down when to take a nap because I'm busy. So again, if I'm busy, I can imagine with somebody else who has done more than me and has more responsibilities than me, how their time looks, how their day looks. And so the DMs have gotten completely out of control. I know firsthand. The DMs are out of control. So before you send another DM, please make sure, for one, make sure you introduce yourself. If you're going to hop in somebody's inbox, somebody that doesn't know you, make sure it starts with an introduction. Make sure you say who you are and what you're doing or why you're inboxing that person in the first place. Because you're going to either get ignored or, sorry, on my phone rang, or you're going to turn that person off. And the worst thing you can do for your personal brand is to get the reputation of being the person that's always in somebody's inbox with nothing valuable to say and for wasting somebody's time. Okay? So respect their times. Stay out of people's DMs unless you're making an initial introduction. Second part of this tip is that if that person has a calendar, get on their calendar. If you want a 15-minute chat just to find out if that person can help you or whatever the case may be, ask for that. But do not ask people for their time if it's not going to get on their calendar. I'm sorry. I just can't get on the phone with people. If y'all only knew how many people ask me to just get on the phone for 5 to 10 minutes, if I did that all day, every day, I wouldn't have a business. I wouldn't make any moves, and I wouldn't make any money. And I'm here to make money. I'm here to grow my brands. I'm here to help you, but it has to be within the restraints of my calendar. That's just the bottom line. And the influencers that you're trying to reach out to, it's the same thing, if not more intense with them. So keep their calendars and schedules in mind. So for me, like, even if I want to connect with somebody, like maybe I don't need their product or service, but I just want to introduce myself, what I'll do is I'll find their email address. I don't even go into DMs anymore. Unless I know you like that, email is it for me. Okay? And I don't reach out to them and say, hey girl or hey sis, because y'all got to stop that too. You don't know somebody, be professional. Reach out to them like you're serious. Because if you don't take yourself serious, they won't either. So if you want to make that initial introduction and have 5 minutes of that person's time, tell them why. Tell them what value they've offered you. Make them feel like you're invested in what they're doing before you ask for a coffee date or 5 minutes on the phone. And then ask them, well, do you have a calendar? Can I get on your calendar, right? That's what you do. Get on their calendar. Because that in itself will set you apart from all the other million hey sisses in their DM. It's like 9 people saying hey sis, and you're the one sending the email saying, hey, how are you, Myleek, or Ashley, or Jamal, whoever you're reaching out to. You will stand out if you get out the DMs and get in the email, okay? And the third thing, and this just ties into it all, pick my brain sessions are the worst thing you can do when you are trying to reach out to an influencer, a leader, or somebody that is just busy. Please, y'all, stop with the pick my brain sessions. It's horrible for your brand. It's a turn off, and nobody's out here for you to pick their brains for free. Unless they offer a conversation to you with no pay, don't expect it, okay? The 4th tip, your main mission should not be to get put on. It's 2017. Nobody can put you on but you, boo. And nobody wants to do anybody else's work because we all have busy lives. We all have our own goals. We're all focused on accomplishing our own individual things. So nobody wants to do more work than they have to do. That means, again, if you have not done your homework, your legwork, if you're not making a conscious effort to be a contribution and an asset to somebody else's brand, ain't nobody going to put you on. Nobody's going to want to put you on, and you shouldn't want to get put on. Too many times, personal brands or individuals are starting out with the wrong motives, with the wrong intentions. The best relationships, the best way to build your network is to let it happen authentically, naturally, organically. Pick any word you want to go with. Okay? So nobody wants to put you on, and you shouldn't expect to get put on. Any person you meet, any connection you make with influencers and people that are busy, it should be the icing on the cake. It should not be the end all be all for you making it or not. So don't expect people to put you on. Don't wait until somebody accomplishes something huge and get in their DM and say, oh my God, can you tell me how you got that opportunity? Don't do that, because that tells me that you didn't do any work before you reached out to me, and you just want to connect and latch onto me for the work I've invested. So I'm not putting nobody on. Put yourself on, okay? So that's very important, okay? The 5th tip is to have something that they can endorse authentically. Have something that they can endorse authentically. Again, don't just connect with people for the sake of saying you got that connection. Hey, Candace. Don't just want to latch on to people that have nothing to do with your goals, your brand plan, what your future goals are. So let's see, if you are a fitness trainer, let's say you're a fitness trainer, right? And you know I'm trying to think of something like far-fetched. You're a fitness trainer and that's it. You're a fitness trainer and you want to do a collaboration, and you reach out to you reach out to a chef. That's what I'm trying to say. God. You reach out to a chef and say, hey, I want to collaborate. That makes sense. Why? Because both industries are pretty much the same. That chef could potentially maybe collaborate with you and show you healthy ways to get your clients eating better or something like that. So collaboration between a fitness expert and a chef would make totally good sense, right? But if you are a makeup artist and you're reaching out to a chef because that chef is friends with President Obama, and you just want to be close to President Obama, that don't make no sense. That is not an authentic endorsement. Now, if y'all are friends and you just naturally happen to be going to dinner with that friend and y'all go to Obama's house, then that is whatever, right? That's just your life. But Do not reach out to somebody whose brand has nothing to do with yours. Collaborations have to make sense. When you reach out to influencers, it has to make sense. That's like a chef reaching out to Fashion Nova for a brand ambassador opportunity. Why in the world do you need Fashion Nova? Y'all get what I'm saying? So have something that they can endorse authentically. And this goes back to making sure you do your research on that person and know about that person, know enough about them to know where can you help them to execute their goals. How can you help that person? Go into it thinking how you can add value to that person's brand and what they're doing. It just has to make sense. So quick recap on how to connect your personal brand with leaders, influencers, and entrepreneurs who are just busy. The first thing is to do your homework first. The second thing is to make sure you have something valuable to bring to the table that they can benefit from. The third tip is to respect their time because it's limited. The fourth tip is that your main mission should not be to get put on. And lastly, have something that they can endorse authentically. And those are my tips, y'all. Like, it's honestly stuff I know y'all have heard before, but it's so important. Like, it's so important. So if you were on here at the beginning, I was sharing the story about how today I got a major endorsement from Hollywood's Elite and how it just made sense because I did all 5 of these things over the course of 7-8 years. And now, not only is she endorsing my book, but she endorsed my entire career because she's watched me put in the work. She's watched me bring something valuable. I've respected her time. My main mission was not just to connect with her because she was Hollywood's Elite and she is connected with Paramount Studios and she's worked with all these celebrities and she goes to dinner with A-list stars. And my mission was not to get put on when I met her years ago. And I have something that she can endorse from her heart because in the industry that she's in, she's a talent manager and she's a national director for a very large modeling agency. And now, as a result of that, in the future, I'm going to be doing some collaborations with her in the area that she's in. So I have something valuable that she can endorse, and it happened organically. It didn't happen because I was hopping in her DM asking her to share my post and can you call me? And I wasn't doing that. I let it happen organically and I made sure that my stuff was in order before we even got on the phone today. Mind you, me and this woman have been connected for 7 years and today was our first time talking on the phone. So sometimes it will take years for you to really grab that connection and for it to benefit you. But in the meantime, make sure you're not focusing on getting put on and doing things just to get latched on to somebody that has invested their time, their money, their energy, and their resources to be where they are, okay? So take those things. If you watch this, go back, take notes, because I'm telling you, these are the things that I literally keep in mind whenever y'all see me making big connections or doing things. I did the legwork first, and I don't expect people to put me on. It's my responsibility. It's your responsibility to get your brand positioned the way that you need it to be positioned. So I'm talking, phone rang again, y'all. I talk about this in the Brand You Like a Boss book. There is an entire chapter on building your network. Get the book, y'all. I'm telling you, if you ever had a question for me about how I built my brand this way, you will get the answers in this book. There is an entire section on networking. On networking, building your network, the strategies, the tips on how to get people to notice you, all of that good stuff. Pre-order the book, pre-order the book, pre-order the book. I also invite you to, and I'm going to wrap this up because Tyler's waking up, invite you to join the free 5-day Brand You Challenge. It kicks off tomorrow. So at midnight is going to be the last bit of signing up, okay? So make sure that you go to, what's the link? bit.ly/all caps 5 days till brand you. I'll go back and put it in the description of this video. And join the challenge, because if you've been trying to get the ball rolling on starting your personal brand, I'm going to help you and walk you through the 5 days. It's an email challenge, so you don't have to worry about me, having to get on at a certain time. You can get through it at your own leisure. It's going to be for 5 days. It's free, 100% free. There's no offer at the end, so 100% free. I just want to be able to walk the people through who have said, I'm trying to start my personal brand, but I can't quite get it off the ground. So I'm going to give you some challenges and some activities and things that you can do throughout the next 5 days, starting tomorrow, within this challenge. So again, go to bit.ly/all caps 5 days till brand you, and sign up before midnight. Sign up. Okay? So guys, that's it. If you guys have any questions, I'll stay on for the next maybe 4 or 5 minutes, and I'll answer any questions that you have here in the comment section. And if not, go watch it again. Yes, Scott, I did get your book a while ago. Go back, watch the replay, share it with somebody, write notes, and really keep these things in mind when you do reach out to people. Okay? So I just kind of hang out for like the next few minutes. If you have any questions, ask away, and then I'm going to get off. So now would be like a good time for some music, but then Facebook would block me, right? So I'm not going to do that. So if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. Even after the broadcast, you can drop them in the comments. Thank you, Krista. Thank you. Drop them in the comments, guys. Let me see if there's anything else I need to tell you guys. I don't think so. I try to keep y'all in the loop of everything as soon as it happens. Yeah. So, we don't have any more questions. I'm just going to go because I know y'all don't just want to sit here and watch me. Okay, Takima has a question. Is it difficult to stay consistent with building a brand? Yes. Everything requires consistency, and it is hard.
Answer his question.
I did. It is hard to remain consistent. Consistency is really one of the main challenges that I find a lot of people have. And I think it comes from really not being clear on what you want and just regular life stuff. Like for me, it's not easy for me to be consistent because I've got a 3-year-old. I'm just busy, like life, right? But here's the thing about consistency that I'm learning. I'm trying to read. Let me make sure Krista's comment doesn't go away. Okay, Krista, I'll talk to you. At the end of the day, and I'm just going to give y'all the real. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. And Takima, you know me. It's up to you to be consistent. Everything around you could be happening, but your future, your goals happening is all dependent on, are you going to keep moving? I think they're working on the roof, y'all. So if y'all hear some rumbling, that's why. Your success is right around the corner. But if you are not consistent, you'll never see the results of consistency. For years, I was trying to figure out, God, like, why am I not seeing results? Like, why am I not? I've been putting in the work. I've been doing this and that. But you know what he told me? I wasn't being consistent. I was doing it for a week. And then the next week, I was like, oh, screw it. That didn't work. I'm going to move on to the next thing. And the minute I stopped doing that was when things started to happen and the momentum started to build up. Just in this last year, I've seen the results of consistency. And one thing I was just actually talking to Jasmine about right before I got on here is even with like creating content and knowing, you know, what types of products to create or what types of Facebook Live videos to do. Every video I do, y'all see I don't come on here every day, but when I do come on here, it's genuine real-time content because, again, I just got off the phone at 12 o'clock with that lady, and I was able to turn something that really happened in my life into content. This video is content. This is how I'm building my brand, because I'm bringing you guys real life content that is valuable and beneficial to you guys. So that's how you remain consistent. So don't get caught up with oh, you need to go on Facebook Live 2 or 3 times a week. If you don't have something valuable to tell people or share with people, don't go live. So you have to also, with consistency, know what you need to be doing and know how you serve people, and then show up in that way. Sharonda says, do you believe in market saturation, or is it all about branding that sets you apart? It's always going to be saturated. Like, I can name off the top of my head industries right now that are saturated, but I still can pinpoint the people who bring the most value and the personal brands within those industries that I notice the most. Public relations, beauty, hair, makeup, photography, coaching. I mean, you name it. Pastoring, being a minister is saturated. We've got churches on every corner, right? But what sets the T.D. Jakes and the Ron Parsleys and the Ron Carpenters from the pastors who we don't really know is all in their ability to really know who their audience is, so know who is in their congregations and know what things they need help with and be able to serve them in those specific ways. So with Sharonda is in the beauty industry. So that's obviously a very saturated industry. So with her, it's important that she continues to learn, grow, and really pay attention to who her current clients are now. Listen to what problems they're having, what things are being inconvenient to them, and serve them in those ways. That is how you stand out in a saturated industry. So I'm going to use a real life example. For this free email challenge, I didn't just want to be able to help the people that signed up for the next 5 days. I want to be able to continuously serve them through my brand. So instead of just asking for the typical name and email address, I asked them, what's the main challenge that you are having with your personal brand? And I also asked them to tell me, are they starting a personal brand or are they building a personal brand? What that is doing is really telling me who is signing up for this challenge and telling me, do I have more people in my audience that are starting personal brands, or they've already got personal brands, but maybe they're running into some issues and some challenges. So now I know how to serve them beyond the 5-day challenge. So I think sometimes with our brands, we don't ask the right questions, or we don't ask enough questions, if that makes any sense, Sharonda. So start asking more questions. Start asking your clients, what can I do to make your life easier with just the service that I offer you now? And then from there, then they'll be able to give you some feedback, and then you can figure out what next service or product you can create to make their lives easier. So I hope that makes sense. Any more questions? These are some good questions, guys, by the way. Great questions. You're welcome, Sharonda. You are welcome. Trying to make sure nobody's asking questions over here. I don't think so. All right, y'all. So anything else, you can drop them in the comments. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with me. Don't forget to pre-order Brand You Like a Boss, coming out June 21st. You can order at brandyouLikeAboss.com/pre-order. And I will see you guys soon and tomorrow for those of you who sign up for the challenge. Have a great rest of the day, and I'll talk to you soon.